Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be working on knee health. So this is a lower body centric workout to make sure your lower body stays strong and healthy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a yoga block and a ball. Here I'm using a lacrosse ball. You could potentially use a softball or something of that nature, something firm. So what I'm going to do is I'm placing the ball on the yoga block right in the middle of my calf. I'm just going to rest it there, move around a little bit, searching for any areas of sensitivity, areas where it feels like it needs a little bit of love. I'm also going to place my other leg on top to apply a little bit more downward pressure. So if it feels like this is enough, then by all means just go for this. If you're feeling like you want to ramp up the intensity a little bit, pop that other leg on top and just rest. Let the ball melt into your musculature. And just spend a few seconds in one spot, then you can move around slightly. Here I'm aiming for the belly of the muscle. So think the biggest part of the muscle of your lower leg. So what we're doing is we're just preparing this tissue. Not only that, we're hydrating it. Moving fluid around by applying pressure to that area. And then when we come off, which I'll get you to do now, we get fresh fluid flooding into the muscle, hydrating that tissue, which is just great for the health of the muscle. So here I'm on the other side. I've got the ball on the yoga block. I'm just lightly resting on my hands. You could also lean up against the wall if you get tired in this position. But I'm just searching out, trying to find a spot that feels kind of spicy. You don't want it to be too painful. So I don't want to see you wincing when you're doing this. You want to stay relaxed. Just keep your breathing nice and calm. Like I said, if it is intense, you can always take the top leg off. Here, I'm just applying a little bit of downward pressure with my top leg. Should feel good. Moving a little bit higher, right on the belly of the muscle. Yeah, that's lovely. We really want these lower legs to be strong and prepared for the impact of day to day. Good, I'm going to slowly come off there. And we're going to move into a stretch now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a half kneeling hip stretch. So here I am on my mat. You want to stack yourself so your knee is directly below your hip and then your rib cage and shoulders and head stack directly above that. So I'm getting as tall as I can make myself. I'm going to squeeze my glute on my right leg here, and I want to feel a nice opening here in the front of my hip. That feels good. I can shift slightly forward into that. And you just want to feel a nice, comfortable stretch. You can even play around with a little bit of a reach. I can show you from front on here, where I'm just stretching through the front of my right hip, reaching up towards the ceiling, keeping my breathing nice and calm. So we spend a lot of our time sitting, right? So this is really the opposite of that, where we're opening up the front of the hip. Just hanging out here for a moment, exploring. Feel free to explore in any of these positions. Beautiful. And then we'll just change sides. So transition over to the other side. It's the same thing. You want to be as tall as you possibly can. If you're focused on that, then everything should really be stacked really well. So hips directly above the knee, rib cage directly above that. Yeah, I'm squeezing my left glute. So I can feel a nice opening through the front of my left hip here. I can show you once again from front on. Stretching through the front of that left hip, squeezing my glutes, staying nice and tall, reaching up towards the ceiling. That's going to create some length. When you're reaching, do your best to keep your rib cage down. You do not want the ribs to lift up and flare. Keep the rib cage down, opening through the front of the hip. Yeah, that's really nice there. And you can spend really as long as you like in a stretch like this. We're going to move on to a little bit of strength work now. So coming on up. So the first thing I want you to do, you're going to come over to a wall, and you're just going to use this for balance. What I want you to do here is you're going to come up as high as you can on your toes, lower your heels down, and repeat. So it's just a basic calf raise. Your knees are staying soft. Feet are about hip width apart, so not too wide. And think you're trying to keep all 10 of your toes on the ground. So I'm coming up as high as I can. All 10 of my toes are on the ground, lowering down and up, using the wall for balance. So I'll show you from here, same thing. Now what you can do, if you feel you've got the balance there, you can start to move a little bit quicker. So I'm kind of moving every second. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can speed that up a little bit. Let's do 5 more, and we're going to pause at the top. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding at the top now. So you're going to hold here. Try and draw your heels slightly closer to one another. That's going to build out the arch on the inside of the foot. Keep your weight on all 10 of your toes. Let's do 5 more like that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should feel a little bit of work happening in those calf muscles. Now we're going to do the opposite. So what I want you to do here is you're going to sit up against the wall. You're going to have your feet slightly out in front of you, about a foot away from the wall. Knees stay soft. You've hinged slightly forward, so you've folded slightly forward at your hip. And what I want you to do now is you're going to pull the top of your foot up towards your shin. So top of the foot comes towards your shin and down. Here we're targeting the muscles in the front of the lower leg. Really important for deceleration and the health of your knees. So I'm pulling the top of my foot up towards my shin and back down. So just up and down. Beautiful. And you just want to keep going until you're really feeling this work happening through here. You can even tap this area. What that does is it connects the nerve endings to your brain and really tells your brain that these muscles exist and you want them working. So I'm just going up and down here. I'm starting to really feel that. You can speed it up a little bit. If you want to challenge yourself, you can come slightly further forward. That will mean that you'll need to hinge slightly more, and then up and down. Woo. Yeah, I'm feeling that cooking now, so I'm going to come out of that. You do the same. Now you are going to grab a hold of a band, a looped band. I'm going to place that right around my ankles. So we've worked on the lower leg. So we've worked on everything below the knee. Now we're going to move up towards the hip. So what I want you to do here, feet about hip width apart. You're going to sit down into a small squat. It's like an athletic position. Now you're shifting over to your left leg. So I've got my left hand on the outside of my left glute. I'm shifting my weight into that hand to the point where I can balance on my left leg. From here, I'm going to tap my right foot off to the side and back. All the work should be happening on the outside of the left hip. So it's tapping and coming back. Tapping and back. And I'm wanting to feel the outside of this glute starting to cook. Beautiful. As you'll notice, this left leg of mine is not moving. I'm making sure that I'm staying strong on that leg. The only thing moving is my right leg tapping off to the side. So I can show you another angle here. Just tapping, tapping. All of my weight is in the outside of the left hip. I'm feeling that. Yeah, I'm feeling that starting to burn. 3, 2, and 1. We'll transition over to the other side. So the same thing, start in the squat. My hands are on the outside of my hips. I'm shifting over into that right hip. I feel my right glute get a little bit bigger as it takes the load there. Now I'm tapping that left leg off to the side. Awesome. Keep your breathing going. Do your best to not let this leg move. You really want to feel the work on the outside of the hip here. Oh yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm going to do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming out. That feels good. So we've got the booty going a little bit there. So safely take your band off. You're gonna put that off to the side. We're gonna move into a Peterson step up. So you're gonna grab your yoga block. For this one, you do definitely wanna use something for balance. So I'm gonna come up against the wall. You could also use a step, a low step to do this exercise. I like the yoga block, it works well. So using the wall for balance, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place my right foot on the block. It's as if I'm taking a step backwards onto a step. So we're going to play around with this for a little while to make sure you get it right. So I'm stepping down, stepping my foot backwards onto the yoga block, using the wall for balance, loading my right leg, stepping up and stepping back down. We're targeting the muscle right above the knee there, your vastus medialis, and stepping and down. So it's stepping back, driving up, slowly and controlled lowering down. Same thing, up and down. Beautiful, yeah, I'm definitely feeling some work there. You do not want to experience any pain when you're doing this. We're aiming for the muscles, not the joints. If there is any pain, any discomfort, stop, reassess, take your time, try and make some minor adjustments. But yeah, we do not want to work through pain here. We want things to feel comfortable. Take note of the directions. One more, and we'll do the same on the other side. So I've got the yoga block set up. I've got my right foot in front of it. Left foot is on the yoga block. I'm using the wall for balance, and I'm stepping up, slowly coming down. So it's my forefoot that's on the yoga block. The heel is slightly elevated. As I step up, my foot comes flat onto the block. Coming back down, using that big muscle of my quad above my knee to bring myself up. Slowly down and back up again. Always controlled. Quality over quantity here. I want smooth, clean movements. That's what's going to strengthen our body. That's what's going to keep us moving for a long time. Longevity is key. Longevity is all I think about when it comes to my movement practice. This is why I practice these things on a daily basis. I want to continue to enjoy the things I love doing with my body for a long time. That's why I do this stuff, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. 2 more here. 1 and 2. Beautiful. So I'm going to put that to the side, and now we're going to put that all together. We worked on the lower leg. We worked the front, we worked the back, we worked the booty, we worked the quads a little bit. So now into a functional movement. This is our knee drive. So we're coming down. We'll call this a runner's hinge. So it's like I'm about to start a race. I'm thinking I'm about to sprint forward. The majority of my weight is on my left leg. I can feel my glute, I can feel my leg working, and then I'm gonna drive up into this position here. So I'm coming back down, using my back foot for balance, driving up. I can show you from here. I'm stepping back. My knee is not collapsing in, it's staying strong. I drive up, keeping an eye on something stationary in order to keep my balance. But now I'm feeling the leg, the entire body work in unison. So we're feeding everything we've done into this functional pattern, which is mimicking what we can do outside. Cool. If I want, I can speed up. So still on the same leg, this is my left leg. We can go down and up. If you're really feeling cool, you can pop off the ground. Pop off the ground, land soft. Keep that going. Otherwise, just slow. Really slow. You can even just step forward, step back. I like that a lot. It's great. Step forward, step back. Otherwise, drive all the way up. Let's change sides. It's the last bit of work we'll do here. We're down and up, down and up. Good, I'm loading the outside of my hip. I feel my glute working, feel my quads, feel my lower leg. It's all working together. We've isolated and now we've integrated. That's what we're doing. Stronger, healthier bodies. See if you can move a little bit quicker now. Down and up. Even popping up off the ground if you're feeling really cool. I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm giving that a go. Good. Remember, you can just step back, step forward, play around with a little bit lower if you want. You know, feel free to explore, keep it safe. Good, I'm just gonna do 2 more. 2 and 1. Beautiful. Now we just did 1 round there. Feel free to go through all those exercises again, starting with the calf raises and the shin raises. It's a really great way to strengthen your lower body and ensure that you have healthy knees going forward. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.